Hello, Sigma ladies. Today we're diving deep into the powerful yet often misunderstood aura of the Sigma female. You already know you're a force to be reckoned with, but what is it about you that unsettles fragile egos? What makes you not just mysterious, but downright disruptive to those who thrive on control or outdated dynamics? This video will explore 10 hidden reasons why Sigma females terrify fragile egos in detail like never before. Each point is a fresh perspective, crafted to unveil the true essence of your strength. By the end, you'll not only understand why you're such a game changer, but also feel even more empowered to own your unique power. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the Sigma Lady, the ultimate space for women who refuse to be boxed in. Join our community of trailblazers who are rewriting the rules on strength, authenticity, and self-worth. Let's start. 1. The sovereign of silence. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness or passivity, but for the Sigma female, it's a tool of extraordinary power. In a world that values noise, constant talking, reacting, and filling every moment with chatter, her ability to remain silent speaks volumes. It's not just the absence of words, it's the presence of control. She uses silence as a means to observe, process, and strategize. For fragile egos, her silence is a vacuum that demands introspection. Men who are accustomed to dominating conversations or receiving immediate validation find her quiet demeanor unsettling. They may try to provoke her, seeking a reaction to reaffirm their importance. But the Sigma female doesn't play into their hands. She understands that reacting impulsively gives away power, so she chooses her responses with precision or sometimes opts not to respond at all. Her silence is a mirror, reflecting back the insecurities of those around her. It forces others to confront their need for constant reassurance and acknowledgement. In relationships, her ability to sit comfortably in silence can feel like rejection to those who equate communication with control. For her, silence is not about shutting someone out. It's about protecting her peace, reserving her energy for what truly matters. In professional settings, her silence becomes a hallmark of her authority. While others rush to fill the room with noise, she listens. This deep observation allows her to understand not just what is being said, but what is left unsaid. Her silence is strategic, and when she does speak, her words carry weight because they are deliberate and meaningful. Silence, for the Sigma female, is not a void. It's a canvas. It's where she gathers her strength, sharpens her thoughts, and prepares to move with intention. For fragile egos, her silence isn't just intimidating, it's a reminder of the power they lack. 2. The Curator of Energy. In a world where people often scatter their attention and energy on everyone and everything, the Sigma female is a master curator. She doesn't give her energy freely or without purpose. Every interaction, every commitment is intentional. This discerning approach to energy management sets her apart and unsettles those who are used to taking more than they give. For fragile egos, her selective engagement feels like rejection. Men who are accustomed to being the center of attention often struggle with her ability to walk away from anything that doesn't serve her goals or align with her values. They misinterpret her distance as disinterest in them as individuals, failing to see that her detachment is a reflection of her high standards and self-worth. Her energy management isn't about arrogance or superiority, it's about survival and growth. She knows that not every battle is worth fighting, not every relationship is worth maintaining, and not every opportunity is worth pursuing. This clarity allows her to focus on what truly matters, whether it's her personal growth, her ambitions, or her inner peace. The Sigma female's ability to curate her energy extends to her social circle. She doesn't surround herself with people out of obligation or fear of being alone. Instead, she chooses relationships that are reciprocal, meaningful, and enriching. This level of discernment often leaves others feeling excluded, especially those who expect constant validation or attention. Her energy is her most valuable resource, and she protects it fiercely. She isn't afraid to say no or to walk away from situations that drain her. For fragile egos, this boundary setting is a challenge to their sense of entitlement. They may see her as distant or unapproachable, but in reality, she's simply focused on preserving her power. Ultimately, her ability to curate her energy isn't just a survival mechanism, it's a form of empowerment. It allows her to thrive in a chaotic world without losing herself. And for those who can't match her level of self-discipline and focus, it's a reminder of their own shortcomings. 3. The Emotional Alchemist. While many people are ruled by their emotions, reacting impulsively, letting their feelings dictate their decisions, the Sigma female is an emotional alchemist. She doesn't suppress her emotions or deny their existence. Instead, she transforms them into tools for growth and self-mastery. This ability to process and harness her feelings is both a source of strength and a mystery to those who lack emotional discipline. For fragile egos, her emotional control is unnerving. Men who rely on emotional manipulation or dramatic displays to assert power find themselves at a loss when she doesn't take the bait. She doesn't react to provocations or allow others to dictate her emotional state. Instead, she remains composed, using her emotions as a guide rather than a master. Her emotional alchemy isn't about detachment, it's about transformation. When faced with disappointment, she turns it into determination. When she feels sadness, she uses it as a moment of introspection, asking herself what lessons can be learned. Her ability to process emotions in this way makes her resilient, adaptable, and nearly impossible to control. In relationships, this emotional strength can be both attractive and intimidating. While some admire her ability to stay grounded, others feel threatened by her refusal to be emotionally dependent. She doesn't need someone to complete her or validate her worth. This independence forces her partners to confront their own emotional insecurities. Her emotional alchemy extends to how she interacts with the world. She doesn't dwell on negativity or let setbacks define her. Instead, she uses every experience, good or bad, as fuel for growth. This approach allows her to navigate life with grace and purpose, a trait that many find inspiring, but some find deeply unsettling. For the Sigma female, emotions are not weaknesses to be hidden. They are raw materials to be refined. Her ability to transform them into strength is a testament to her self-awareness and resilience. And for those who lack this level of emotional maturity, she becomes an enigma they struggle to understand. 4. The Boundary Architect. For the Sigma female, boundaries are not barriers, they're frameworks for a life lived on her own terms. She designs these boundaries with intention, crafting them to protect her peace, her time, and her values. Unlike walls which isolate, her boundaries create clarity about what she will and won't accept. This clarity, however, often feels like a confrontation to those who are accustomed to overstepping. Men with fragile egos often struggle with boundaries. They may see them as personal rejections or challenges to their influence. But for the Sigma female, boundaries are non-negotiable. They're not about controlling others. They're about controlling herself, her energy, her emotions, and her focus. This self-mastery makes her unyielding when someone tries to push past her limits. Her boundaries extend to every aspect of her life. In relationships, she refuses to settle for anything less than mutual respect and understanding. She doesn't tolerate toxic behavior or emotional games, and she's quick to distance herself from anyone who disrupts her peace. This decisiveness can leave others feeling excluded or unworthy, especially if they're used to women who compromise their standards to maintain a connection. In professional settings, her boundaries are equally firm. She values her time and expects others to do the same. She doesn't entertain unnecessary meetings, excessive demands, or office politics. Her ability to assert herself in this way often garners respect, but it can also provoke resentment from those who mistake her assertiveness for arrogance. The Sigma female's boundaries are rooted in her self-awareness. She knows what she needs to thrive and isn't afraid to enforce it. This confidence challenges societal expectations, which often pressure women to be accommodating and self-sacrificing. By refusing to conform, she forces others to re-evaluate their own assumptions about relationships and power dynamics. For fragile egos, her boundaries are a source of frustration and confusion. They can't manipulate or control her because she's already established the terms of engagement. Her ability to set limits is not just a form of protection, it's a declaration of her worth. And for those who can't respect her boundaries, she simply walks away, leaving them to grapple with the consequences of their actions. The disruptor of norms. The Sigma female doesn't just live outside societal norms, she actively challenges them through her choices and actions. She doesn't do this for attention or rebellion, it's a natural byproduct of her authenticity. Her refusal to conform to traditional roles and expectations forces those around her to question the very foundations of their beliefs. This quiet disruption is both inspiring and intimidating. In relationships, she defies stereotypes about what a woman should be. She doesn't need a partner to validate her existence or complete her life. Instead, she seeks an equal, a partner who complements her without overshadowing or controlling her. This rejection of traditional dynamics can leave fragile egos feeling threatened. Men who are used to being in charge may struggle to adapt to a relationship based on mutual respect and independence. Her disruption of norms extends to her professional life. She doesn't climb the corporate ladder in the usual way. She creates her own path. Whether it's through entrepreneurship, innovation, or unconventional career choices, she challenges the idea that success requires conformity. Her ability to thrive on her terms often makes her a role model for others, but it can also provoke envy or resistance from those who cling to outdated ideas about gender and power. The Sigma female's approach to life is guided by her internal compass, not external pressures. She doesn't chase trends, follow the crowd, or seek approval. This independence makes her a maverick in a world that often values sameness over individuality. Her existence alone is a reminder that there's no single way to live a meaningful, successful life. For fragile egos, her disruption of norms feels like a personal challenge. They may interpret her confidence as arrogance or her independence as rejection. But for the Sigma female, it's never about proving others wrong. It's about staying true to herself. By refusing to conform, she creates a ripple effect that forces others to confront their own limitations and insecurities. Her ability to disrupt norms isn't just about breaking rules, it's about redefining them. She doesn't tear down traditions for the sake of it. She replaces them with principles that are more inclusive, empowering, and authentic. This quiet revolution is what makes her so powerful and so unsettling to those who fear change. 6. The enigma of contentment. While many people associate happiness with external achievements, money, relationships, status, the Sigma female finds her joy within. Her contentment is rooted in her ability to be alone without feeling lonely, to pursue her passions without seeking approval, and to live authentically without conforming to societal expectations. This inner peace is a mystery to those who equate fulfillment with external validation. For fragile egos, her contentment is deeply unsettling. Men who thrive on being needed often find themselves at a loss when she doesn't require their support or attention. Her independence is a reminder that she can live a full, meaningful life on her own terms. This doesn't mean she rejects relationships. It means she approaches them from a place of wholeness, not dependency. Her contentment comes from her ability to focus on what truly matters. She doesn't waste time comparing herself to others or chasing fleeting trends. Instead, she invests in her growth, her passions, and her relationships with people who add value to her life. This clarity allows her to find joy in simplicity, whether it's a quiet moment of reflection, a meaningful conversation, or a personal achievement. The Sigma female's contentment is also a form of resilience. She doesn't let setbacks or failures define her. Instead, she sees them as opportunities for growth and learning. This perspective allows her to remain grounded, even in challenging times. Her ability to bounce back from adversity is a testament to her inner strength and self-awareness. For fragile egos, her contentment is a paradox. On one hand, it's deeply attractive, a sign of confidence and self-mastery. On the other, it's intimidating because it doesn't leave room for manipulation or control. Her happiness isn't something they can give or take away, and this autonomy forces them to confront their own insecurities. Ultimately, her contentment isn't about avoiding the world. It's about embracing it on her terms. She finds fulfillment not in chasing what others value, but in creating a life that aligns with her own principles. This quiet confidence is what makes her so inspiring and so difficult to understand. 7. The strategic withdrawal. Walking away is often seen as a sign of defeat, but for the Sigma female, it's a calculated move, a strategy of strength. She understands that not every battle needs to be fought, and not every relationship deserves her energy. Her ability to withdraw strategically isn't about giving up. It's about prioritizing her peace and growth. When the Sigma female chooses to walk away, she does so with purpose, whether it's from a toxic relationship, a draining friendship, or a stagnant job. Her decision is rooted in self-awareness. She recognizes when a situation no longer aligns with her values or goals, and she isn't afraid to let it go. This decisiveness can be unsettling for fragile egos, who often see her withdrawal as a rejection or a challenge to their authority. Her strategic withdrawal isn't impulsive, it's thoughtful. She assesses the situation, weighs her options, and chooses the path that serves her best. This level of control over her decisions is rare and powerful, especially in a world where many people stay in situations out of fear or obligation. Her ability to walk away sends a clear message. She values herself too much to settle for less than she deserves. For men with fragile egos, her withdrawal is a direct blow to their sense of importance. They may interpret her decision as a failure on their part, a reflection of their inability to meet her standards. But for the Sigma female, it's never about them. It's about her own growth and well-being. This perspective forces them to confront their insecurities and question their assumptions about relationships and power. Her strategic withdrawal is also a reminder of her independence. She doesn't cling to people or situations for validation or support. She knows that she can thrive on her own, and this self-reliance is both inspiring and intimidating. For those who rely on control or manipulation to maintain connections, her ability to walk away is a challenge they're often unprepared to face. Ultimately, the Sigma female's withdrawal is not a retreat, it's a realignment. It's her way of ensuring that her energy is invested in what truly matters. This ability to prioritize herself is a testament to her strength and self-awareness, qualities that fragile egos struggle to match. 8. The wisdom whisperer. The Sigma female isn't the loudest voice in the room, but she's often the most insightful. Her wisdom comes not from constant talking, but from careful observation, deep thinking, and a willingness to question the status quo. She doesn't seek to dominate conversations or impose her ideas on others. Instead, she offers her insights subtly, allowing her words to speak for themselves. Her wisdom is often unexpected, catching others off guard with its depth and clarity. For men with fragile egos, this can be intimidating. They may be accustomed to being the smartest person in the room, but her quiet intelligence challenges their assumptions. She doesn't need to prove herself or compete for attention. Her knowledge and perspective are self-evident. The Sigma female's wisdom is rooted in her authenticity. She doesn't rely on clichés or surface-level ideas to make an impression. Instead, she digs deeper, seeking truths that are often overlooked. This approach makes her a source of inspiration for those who value growth and self-discovery. But for those who cling to shallow or outdated beliefs, her insights can feel like a threat. Her wisdom isn't just intellectual, it's emotional and intuitive. She understands people on a deeper level, often picking up on what they don't say. This ability to read between the lines allows her to navigate relationships and interactions with grace and intention. For fragile egos, this level of understanding can feel invasive or unsettling, as it exposes their vulnerabilities. In a world that often values volume over substance, the Sigma female's quiet wisdom is a powerful force. It challenges others to listen, reflect, and grow. For those willing to embrace her insights, she becomes a guide and a source of strength. But for those who fear change or self-examination, her wisdom is a reminder of their own limitations. 9. The shapeshifter of strength is often portrayed as rigid and unyielding, but the Sigma female redefines it as something fluid and adaptable. She understands that true strength isn't about dominance or control. It's about resilience, flexibility, and the ability to thrive in any situation. This dynamic approach to strength makes her both inspiring and unpredictable. Her strength takes many forms. Intellectually, she's sharp and insightful, able to solve problems and navigate challenges with ease. Emotionally, she's grounded and self-aware, capable of managing her feelings without being overwhelmed by them. Physically, she's capable and confident, unafraid to take on tasks that require courage and determination. This versatility makes her a force to be reckoned with. For fragile egos, her adaptability is unsettling. Men who rely on traditional notions of strength, physical dominance, assertiveness, or control find themselves outmatched by her multidimensional approach. She doesn't fit into their narrow definitions of power, and this unpredictability leaves them scrambling to understand her. The Sigma female's strength is also deeply personal. She doesn't compare herself to others or seek to prove her worth. Instead, she focuses on her own growth and self-mastery. This internal focus allows her to remain confident and composed, even in the face of adversity. For those who rely on external validation to feel strong, her independence is a challenge they're often unprepared to meet. Her ability to shape-shift her strength isn't about deception, it's about authenticity. She knows that different situations require different approaches, and she adapts accordingly. This flexibility makes her a natural leader and a source of inspiration for those around her. But for those who cling to outdated ideas of power, she's an enigma they can't control. 10. The timeless Maverick. In a world obsessed with trends and fleeting success, the Sigma female is timeless. Her values, principles, and approach to life are rooted in authenticity and self-awareness. She doesn't chase what's popular or conform to what's expected. Instead, she charts her own course, guided by her internal compass. Her timelessness is a source of both admiration and intimidation. For fragile egos, her refusal to follow the crowd is a challenge to their sense of importance. They may see her as unapproachable or distant, but in reality, she's simply focused on living a life that aligns with her values. Her maverick spirit extends to every aspect of her life. In relationships, she doesn't settle for superficial connections or outdated dynamics. In her career, she doesn't conform to traditional paths or hierarchies. In her personal growth, she doesn't rely on external validation or approval. This independence makes her a trailblazer, inspiring others to embrace their own authenticity. For fragile egos, her timelessness is a reminder of their own impermanence. While they chase trends or seek short-term success, she focuses on building a life that will stand the test of time. This long-term perspective sets her apart and makes her a force to be reckoned with. Sigma ladies, your power is undeniable, your presence unforgettable. You are a force of nature, calm, deliberate, and unstoppable. The world may not always understand you, but that's because you're not here to fit in. You're here to stand out. If today's video resonated with you, don't just watch, take action. Subscribe to the Sigma Lady and join a community of trailblazers who are redefining what it means to be strong, authentic, and unapologetically themselves. Until next time, stay bold, stay timeless, and keep rewriting the narrative. You're not just a Sigma, you're a revolution in motion.